Hello everyone, I would like to welcome you to the new Rimworld series that I'm going to do. On this one, I'm going to show you most of the settings. There are some settings I don't want you to see, such as the random event settings. I want you guys to be surprised. Um, I can tell you I won't remember the time intervals that I've set them at for the repeating ones, but I did want to share with you what mods I'm using. Quality Surgeon. I believe what this does is this makes the best person do surgery. Colonists will no longer be with grayer morals. Colonists will no longer be sad wearing dead men's clothes. Oh, okay. Prisoners are sold, harvested, or left to die. Penalties for cannibalism are reduced. That's interesting. Research scroll bars. Says it in the name, and it's great. Stuffed floors. What is this? This mod provides framework for modders to find their own floor types. Adds several floor types on a variety of stone, wood, and metal types. Okay, so this is why we have prettier floors. I wish it just told us which one. Known issue. Happily generate blah 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 blah. Anyways, moving on. Architect sets. What does this do? Okay, this is just a library. Dub's Bad Hygiene. Dub's Bad Hygiene introduces toilets and hygiene and showers and such. I didn't really end up using it much in my last episode or in my last series. Mainly because I just never got there. So I probably had some negative effects from this that I never got over. An advanced chem fuel generator, just more power, I believe. Concrete walls. I don't know how to make concrete, but there it is. Once I figure it out, I'm sure it'll be useful. Fences and floors. Gives us new floors and fences and stuff to put together, which is cool. Industrial rollers. We are actually going to disable this. I never use it. I don't know how to use it. Hand me that brick. This one is awesome. Colonists that are hauling will deliver resources to blueprints and construction frames, even if they're not the ones that are doing the construction, which is awesome. Advanced power generation. Never used them yet. I haven't gotten far enough along to use them. We're going to leave it in for now. Hospitality. This is incredibly awesome, and I need to work on the hospitality mod on doing better with it. But what it does is people show up from friendly tribes as guests, and sometimes they'll help you do work around your colony, which is great. But the best part is if they have a good stay, they will tend to give you gifts when they leave, which can be pretty awesome stuff. Rim Arsenal adds a feral faction. This hurt. This actually killed me off last time because I got feraled and it hurt me really, really, really bad. And I don't want to spoil the final ending, but after that, another event triggered that between what this did to me and that event, it killed us all off. It just wiped us all out. Extended storage. Now that I actually know how to use this, I'm going to be using this more. I failed to use it properly, and so it ended up being more in the way than anything else. But now that I know how to use it right, it'll be great. Crash landing. This adds what it says, crash landing. It actually adds random events of ship parts crashing. And even though I have it semi-random on the thing, I have a couple repeating events that involve this, and they're random ship parts when they fall. It also works into the main event generator. RT fuse. This is a must. This stops your wires from exploding randomly. These will no longer cause your base to explode into a fireball. These ZZZZTT, the events. I hope I did that noise right. Efficient light. Lower power consumption of the lights. 75 on those lights was ridiculous for how little light they put out. It does not, however, affect the grow light. The grow light is still extremely power hungry. Well, it says it. Expanded prosthetics and organ engineering. It gives you more parts. Tilled soil. I haven't gotten to make it work yet. It does, I believe it's this one, it does cause a problem. Don't queue up over your growing zones the tilled soil until you can do it. Otherwise, it prevents your people from automatically harvesting. Found that out the hard way. Colony almost starved to death. More trade ships. That's pretty much what it says. Embrasures. What this adds is you can't walk through it, but you can shoot through it wall, and they shoot both ways. It does say this. So sandbags right behind it are still a must. And air temp, the wall allow temperatures to equalize through the gaps. I wonder if they still count as walls on the inside of the base. I'm going to have to look into that because that will save me a lot of steel in building vents. Miscellaneous training. This gives us shooting targets, martial arts dummy, and a archery target, which is joy only. So these, as they obviously say, let you add shooting. You have to set these up like they have it up here because people walk in front of them and they die. I believe that probably 50 to 60% of the injuries my colonist received in the last series, for those of you that didn't watch it and got to laugh at me live for it, were caused by my own colonists shooting each other in formation. I am actually, after the end of this introductory video here that I'm making for the series, I'm going to go look and see if there's a formation mod. Because when you recruit all your settlers and put them on combat mode, I don't remember, recruit mode, draft, and send them out, I often see it puts them in a block, in a 3x3 block, and the guy at one corner of the block will shoot everyone in between him and the enemy to shoot. I would like to see an improvement on that. Medical tab. This is great. This gives a tab that you click on and it shows everyone's medical statistics. Should have been in the original game. Colony manager. This gives you a way to set up tasks that you want done and a managing desk, and to make sure that those tasks get done right, like selecting what animals to hunt, etc. What crops to farm, not farm so much as foraging. What animals I want to go tame. All of that is automatically done in here. Blueprints. Create a designator to drag over an area with existing instructions. Will be designated and included in the blueprint. Once created, a pop-up will appear. Okay, so this way I can pre-build a blueprint. I don't know if I have to pre-build it. Once you've created a blueprint, you save in the same location as a Rimworld save games and config files. While you can import between games, be careful in doing so if a blueprint contains modded items that are not available in the current game. Okay, so I can make universal blueprints, and I may sit down in quote-unquote creative mode and build some basic buildings to blueprint off of, just so that they're easy to build. And they'll probably all be wood buildings. And here's the thing, is it doesn't matter what I put in them. If I don't have the materials to make them, it won't make them. It just allows me to lay down a pre-plan. This is awesome. I need to use this more. The allow tool, is this the one I think it is? Yes, this allows me to unforbid all on the menu, instead of having to go through and click each item or select a group of items. An animals tab, very similar to the medical tab. You can get a whole bunch of information and tell it what to do. Most of this is in vanilla, but this adds a few more. This adds a few more things. Oh, and this is a thing that I can use, and I forgot I had. You can draft your defenders and place them where you want them, and then once it's selected, you can save it so that when I redraft them, I can just click and they will go to where they belong. This is good for a base that only has one way in, that has some kind of mob funnel that makes them come in only one way. And I plan on building that base. Maybe not this time. We'll see. Quality Builder lets you specify what level you want it to be. It doesn't seem to always work, but it generally does. And what happens is if they build, say you tell it you want a superior chair, and the guy goes over and he builds a shoddy chair, he will immediately rip it right back apart and try again until you get the minimum quality you want. They can build better quality, but if they build a lesser quality, they destroy it. Prepare carefully. I'm not using it right now, but it's always good to have around for when you want to do a little bit of fun stuff. This is what I'm going to use for my creative mode there to build those blueprints. Programmable vents. I think this lets airflow both directions. I've never really gotten them to work right, but I've never really had a stable enough situation that I could use them. I probably won't use this at all. While you're up, so this is cool. I'm mining. Me and a couple other guys are mining, and miners just drop the stuff on the ground when they mine it. So this guy decides, because I have the hygiene mod, this guy decides he needs to go to the bathroom, which is over by the storehouse. He will grab something to go back to the storehouse, go to the bathroom, and then come back to his mining. It makes people carry things. It's great. Bridges. I like bridges so far. Kind of a pain in the butt, but with the advanced bridges, you can, it's like this. Use a bridge to run a power conduit across a river. It's great. And the heavy bridges, the advanced bridges, you can put walls. So that's useful. Wandering caravans. I have randomly gotten a lot of alpacas that show up that just have random goods on them. You can try and tame them to get their stuff, and that works. You can designate them for hunting and you get their stuff. You have to unforbid it when it hits the ground. Any way of gaining control of the animal, whether it be killing it or taming it, and you get the stuff off of it. And that's just it. This one, I'm not sure if this one is working. I'm not sure if this one does anything or not. Well, I know it does something. I'm not sure what it does because I've always used it so. But from what it sounds like is in vanilla, if someone walks through a work zone, the person stops working. In this one, they don't. Climate control. I almost got to the point where I could use this, but I died. But my understanding of it is you put these vents in rooms and you wire them with the climate control pipes, and it will control the temperatures in the rooms. Shield generators. These generate shot shields. Again, I wasn't able to get to the point where I could use these. It might have helped. I disabled that feral thing, didn't I? No, where is that? Feral. Yeah, that is going away. Speaking of getting hosed, that I just, at my level of skill, it's too much. Granted, there are some weapons in there like this one right here. It's a hand crank minigun, so it's thump 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 thump, and it's actually pretty accurate, and it hurts a lot. I got a couple, and my people were using them to rip people apart with, and it was great. Modular tables. This is so awesome. Although I would like to say something nasty about all of these pawns that are idiots. I had one that was more than, I'm going to say the table, the way I set it up, at most was 15 steps away from the kitchen. I had people all the time, I ate without a table. Pawns are idiots. I would love to see a mod that improves that. It may exist, it may not. Fertile fields. Maybe this was conflicting with tilled soil. Yeah, it was not tilled soil. Never mind. Tilled soil was not the one that was messing me up. It was fertile fields. Fertile fields, if you tell it to fertilize your field and you don't have fertilizer, any square that's selected to be fertilized you can still harvest it manually. It is not automatically harvested. Medical training. This caused me a little bit of problems. I would like to see the mod author change this to an opt-in instead of an opt-out feature. You use corpses to train your medical skill, including colonist corpses unless you forbid them. I actually had a couple of dark episodes over this because one of my more favorite characters who was doing a really good job, who was really skilled, really talented, died. And it was because of another character who, because of him, I will never, ever, ever, ever tolerate a pyro in my colony again, caused one of my characters to die. And then he proceeded, while everyone else was fighting the fire, to go train his medical skill with their corpse. And so I killed him horrifically. Moving on, training console. Never got to it. I assume it adds just a console that you go learn at. I mean, it sounds like a tutorial computer to me. I'm not sure. Haven't gotten to use it. Haven't ever gotten far enough to be able to use it. Disinfectant stands. Never use these. Adds cleanliness to room. Great for hospital. Oh. Addition to food or bathroom areas. Ooh. Adds 20 cleanliness to... Ooh. Requires medicine production. See, I never got that far. One component for... I like those. Those are definitely staying. These are awesome when you find them. When traders have them, they are horrifically expensive, but they are great. You get this blueprint, you go tell someone to use it, and boom, you just get a technology from that level, if your technology level is high enough. So if for some reason your technology is still only at medieval, you haven't done any industrial blueprints or industrial research, you could have a stack of 50 of these. Not that they stack, but you could have 50 of these. You can't use them. They're absolutely useless to you until you get your first industrial tech. Once you've got that, you're good to go. You can use them, and it just gives you a random one. I wish I had known how to use these sooner. I would have found ways to get them sooner. There is a way to make them in research, but I don't understand if it's for selling or if I can actually then just use them. That would be kind of weird. I gotta look into that. Mending beds. These are great. These beds, once you have them researched, again, haven't been able to use them except in a modified playthrough where I was like God, basically. I was all powerful. They repair your clothes while you are in bed. And I don't believe it requires any materials. It just repairs stuff. I don't know if it does weapons. As it says here, there is a hospital version. Let's see. Oh, it does do weapons, it looks like. 45 apparel, 90... What does this mean? Oh, power. 45 to do apparel, and it jumps to 90 for weapon. So it eats power. Okay. Cut plants out of there before building. This is great. I don't know why it's in Japanese, but I don't care. It works great. It's automatic, but it works. See, this shrinks the room requirements a little bit. As it shows here, let's see. Require less structured materials. So tight moves down to a 9.5 block average room, and so forth. So it just jiggles the numbers down a little bit. Reinstallable deep drill. This drove me nuts when on the playthroughs that I got to deep drills, that you could use it and then that was it. It was gone. Fire foam grenades. This is going to keep people alive. Okay, so that is, oh, it's going to restart itself. But that is my mod list. Like I said, I'm going to go start a game. I'm going to get through. Well, I can show you. And I'm going to use Phobie Chillax on probably, I can't remember the name of it. I think it's the 3rd difficulty. As soon as this loads back up, I'll show you. I thought it actually closed out completely and restarted. I never pay attention when it does that because I'm usually doing something else. But right now I'm staring at the computer screen waiting for it to get done. And nothing else is working. There it goes. It kind of hung up my computer there. So when I do a new colony, I'm going to do a new colony on Crash Landed, so I don't show you what this does, because it unfortunately shows you right here what my random events are. It doesn't show the timers, but Phobie on some challenge. I can do okay on some challenge. Rough kills me in about the first week. Some challenge I can survive through. I believe last time I actually did Cassandra with some challenge, and she killed me. She killed me. Phobie is just, she's a nice lady. And so that's who we're going to work with. So, from here, you've seen everything that we're going to do, except the specialization in here, which I did give me a little bit more steel and a little bit more ship pieces, compared to Crash Landing Easy is what it's based off of. It start with 4 people instead of 3. You see, in this one doesn't tell you a lot of things that's going on in here. But I gave myself a few little nudges at the start to help me get started that may have some long-term effects, but I think all in all it's going to hurt more than it helps, because I also did some pretty nasty things to myself in there. So that concludes the introduction and or episode 1. Please join us again for episode 2 after I am in game. I am going to spend a little bit of time looking to see if there is a mod to prevent your colonists from shooting each other as often. But beyond that, the mod list is as you see it, and if I do add that mod, I will let you know the name of it at the beginning of episode 2. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you follow along with the episode or the series, and I hope you enjoy it. You guys all take care. Bye-bye now.